Hello, how are you all? Welcome to your channel. I am Mary Tajitos. For today's class, we are going to be doing the step-by-step of this beautiful bag. It's a trendy model, very eye-catching, easy to make, and quite affordable. We will be making it with single crochet and slip stitch, and we will also be adding these beautiful fringes that give it a bit of movement. I'm going to show you all the details. Look at these beautiful finishes. The stitch is so pretty. The fringes look beautiful on the inside. Look how spacious it is. We've added its clasp. This is how it looks on the back. It's a medium-sized bag, very well made, well detailed, with a very good structure. Honestly, the process seems complicated, but it's very simple. I hope you enjoy it and that you stay with me until the end of the class. If so, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. If you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so you don't miss any of our upcoming classes. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell. Now, let's go to the list of materials and then to the step-by-step instructions. We're going to work with the following materials: scissors, measuring tape, 5.5mm knitting needle. This is our main needle, and a 3.5mm knitting needle. This one is for weaving in ends. A magnetic clasp with spaces to add a personalized plate with the channel's name. This is optional. I'm going to be working with Polis t-shirt yarn, supplies. Here I have a 1 kilogram skein, but I won't be using all of it. In the video description, I'll leave you the exact amount that we're going to use for this project. This is a feather t-shirt yarn, extra stretchy, very lightweight, with a strand that's 3 centimeters wide. Look, what a beautiful color. For those who are interested in getting this material, in the video description, I'll leave you the link to their shopping page. Let's get started. But before that, remember to stretch and organize your material very well. This will make your work much easier and give your piece a better finish. This strand measures 3 centimeters wide, and I will be working with a 5.5 needle.
5 milímetros.
You can use whatever material you have available. You can also work on this project with cord, PIP thread, macrame, or rat tail cord. What you need to keep in mind is that the size will vary depending on the thickness of the material. What you can do is add more chains at the beginning. If you see that the piece is turning out smaller, I'm going to explain to you how to make it a little bigger or how to make it a little smaller, depending on the material you're going to work with. We start by making a slip knot, and we will crochet. 33 chains, we have a loop on the hook. We yarn over and pull through. Here we have already made the first loop on the hook. We yarn over and pull through. This way, we will make the chains until we reach number 33. Here, we already have the Aussie. I finished the 33 chains. Please check. We won't count the slip knot at the beginning, and it measures 23 centimeters long. We are going to work the first row, and we will do it with single crochet stitches. Starting in chain number 32, because number 33 will be our turning chain, here we are going to turn the chain and start working. Where the bumps are underneath, look at the spaces. We will work 1 stitch under each bump until we reach the last one. We pass the needle under the second one. We yarn over, pull up a loop, and we have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through both. We have made our first single crochet. We pass the needle under the second bump, and we make a single crochet under the next one. We yarn over, lift to the height of the little loop we have on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through both. We do the same process in the next one and continue like this until we reach the last ridge. let's make the last stitch. We insert the needle, look, under the last ridge, yarn over and lift, yarn over again and pull through both, closing the last stitch this way. Here we make a turning chain, and look, we finished the first row. This is how the single crochet stitches look. See how pretty and well organized they are. Here, we've made a total of 32 stitches. Please check. We already have the turning chain. We turn the piece, and we're going to start working. Row number 2, we're going to continue with single crochet, closing a simple one. But here, the way it's done is going to change a little bit. Whenever we start a row, we're going to make the first stitch. In the third chain, we count 1, 2, and 3, passing the needle under the whole chain. Look at it here. We yarn over, lift up, and make the first stitch and the next one. Now, the next stitch. This is where it's going to vary a little bit. We're going to insert the needle in the center of the chain, taking only the top strand. We're going to leave this strand free. We only take this one, insert the needle in the center, yarn over, and make the stitch. We're going to make the next stitch under the entire chain. And the next one in the center of the chain. Notice that it's the same single crochet, but the place where it's made varies. In the first one, we did it under the whole chain. In the second one, in the center of the chain. In the third one, under the whole chain. In the fourth one, in the center of the chain. And the next one, under the whole chain. And the next one in the center of the chain. In this way, we are going to alternate these 2 single crochets. Here in the center. And the next one. The next one underneath the entire chain. And the next one in the center of the chain. Look at how the pattern is turning out. One in front, one behind, one in front, one behind. Look at how it looks. We continue working underneath all. In the center, you can see underneath the entire chain. In the center. This way, we follow the pattern until we reach the last stitch. We're going to make the last stitch by passing the needle underneath the entire chain. I'll show you how the stitch pattern looks. Look how beautiful it is. We're going to make a turning chain here. We turn the piece and start working on row number 3, counting 1, 2. In the third chain, we go under all of it and make a single crochet. The next one, in the center of the chain, we make a single crochet. The next one, under the whole chain. In the center, under all of it. We're going to work into the last chain. We go through the center. And here on this side, where the little ridge is, we'll make the last stitch. We pass the needle through. See that here is the little ridge and here is the yarn? We go underneath and here we'll make the last stitch. I finished round number 3. And look at how the stitches look now. You can already see one in front, one in back, one in front, one in back, one in front, one in back. Here, I worked a total of 31 stitches. We're going to make a turning chain, turn the piece, and start round number 4 following the same process. We count 3 chains. We go under the entire chain and make the first stitch, the next one in the center of the chain. The next one goes under all of them. This way, we are going to work the rows, back and forth, until we reach a height of about 16 centimeters. I finished the piece's height. Here, I made a total of 17 rounds. And look at how the stitch pattern looks here on the back. See how pretty it is. How are you going to identify it? For each round, we position ourselves here where the starting chains are. We can see the first one, and here we can notice ridges. Each ridge is made up of 2 rounds. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and the last one, 17. I'll give you the measurements. In length, it is 31 centimeters, and in width, it is 16 centimeters. Let's continue with the process. I want you to pay close attention because now we're going to work on the other part of the piece. And I want you to be very clear about how you're going to do it, especially if you want to make the piece a little bigger. So, regardless of the number of chains you start with, you need to keep in mind the height you're going to give the piece. Here, we made a height of 17 rows, so I have 17. Which ones should I also count on this side to start working on the part we're missing? How are we going to do it? We start counting from the 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3. Here we count the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. In this chain, we are going to place a marker. How? Okay. Okay, 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 okay. Here we already have the same number of stitches as we worked on this side. So what are we going to do? We are going to work with the same stitch pattern, going back and forth until we complete the 17 rows. And if you want to make the piece a little bigger, you will work the chains at the beginning until you reach the desired height. What you should always keep in mind is the width you are going to give the piece. Here we made 17. For example, you can make 20 rows for the width, which means here you will count 20 chains. Starting from the 3rd one, you place the stitch marker and continue working with the same stitch pattern, back and forth, until you complete the same 20 rows you made. On this side, we are going to continue here. In the last stitch, we make a turning chain, turn the piece, and follow the same process. We count 3 chains and make a single crochet and the next one in the center of the chain. And this is how we will repeat the stitch pattern. We reach the marker, remove it, and here we make a single crochet. Under the whole chain, we make a turning chain. We turn the piece. And here we count 1, 2, 3. In the 3rd chain, we make a single crochet and repeat again. We make the last stitch here. Look, here's the little ridge. We go under this strand that's on this side. We make a turning chain and turn the work. Starting here with the third row, here we make the first one. The second one, we turn and continue with the third row. We are going to repeat this process until we reach row number 17. I finished the 17 rows. This is how your piece should be looking. Here I show you where we work the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17s. When you finish this side of the piece, try to always do it on the inside part. Why? Because now we're going to work around behind, slip stitches around, and then we'll make the handle. So you'll notice that it's always much easier to finish on the inside part of the piece. Now I'm going to give you the width measurements. On this side we have 16 centimeters. And here, which was the last one we made, look, we also have 16 centimeters for the height. The other side of the piece. 14 centimeters, and for the height, this side also has 14 centimeters. This bag is going to be medium-sized. If you want to make it bigger, you can follow the explanation I gave you earlier. The process is very simple. You just need to add more stitches and more rounds. I explained to you that you should do it at the beginning of the chains, when giving height to the piece. And here, when selecting the stitches and starting to go up with the same number of stitches we started with. So the process is simple. I hope you can understand it and put it into practice. I also like to see the results, so you can send me your pictures to my Instagram account, which I'll be showing here on the screen. Another way to check the size much faster, and I do this while I'm crocheting this piece, is to arrange it like this. Here we arrange the tip and join each end together. See, here we can tell that it's the same size. Sometimes one part looks bigger than the other, but once we do this step, we realize that both are the same size. Let's position ourselves at the last point and make a chain stitch in the air. We'll work from this side. Slip stitch, passing the needle here, in this first space, right here on this side where the stitch is. We won't make a slip stitch because we already have the turning chain there. So we pass the needle here and make a slip stitch here. We take this strand and the little strand that's in the back, we make the next one here in this space. Look, here as well. And in each of these, we pass the needle through. We take a strand. We raise it to the height of the loop that's on the hook, and we're going to slip the first one through the one we already had. This way, we go under this strand, and the one that's in the back, take a new strand, raise it, and slip it. Here, let's try not to tighten it too much so the fabric or the piece doesn't shrink. So, we always raise it here, take a strand, look, we raise it to the level of the hook and slip it. We go under the next one. We take a strand, raise it, and slip it. Go through the center here and crochet, slip, 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 give, give, give. The little ear goes well at the back. Here in this space. And now we're going to go up on this side. Here we're going to pass the needle under the whole chain. Here. we're going to make the last slip stitch here. We pass the needle under this strand, and back here we're going to grab this one. Look at it here. Ready? We go under and under that one. Here, very carefully. There. Because we're going to do this, because now we're going to start working the chains to make the handle on this side. And we want to make that stitch stronger. We go through here, under this one and the one in the back, yarn over, and here we slip. Now we start working 38 chains. We have the loop on the hook, yarn over, and slip through this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are going to keep working until we finish all 38. I finished the 38 chains. Look how they look. If you want to make the handle a little bigger, you can add more chains here, depending on the length you want to give it. Let's organize it very well so that everything is nice and straight. And now we're going to move to this side. What are we going to do here? Pay close attention. We're going to add height to this little ear, and we're going to insert the needle here into the turning chain we made to start the slip stitches. Look at the one left in the center. We go through the middle of the stitch, grabbing the top loop, and we're also going to grab the back loop to make that first stitch stronger. And that's it. Now. We pass the needle through, grab the yarn, bring it forward, adjust a little bit, and here we're going to make a stitch. Now we're going to pass the needle under the ridges and make slip stitches. Here. We pass the needle under the first ridge. See how the yarn is on the right side. But we're going to work the slip stitches in the back of the chain. So we go under the ridge, yarn over, and slip under the next one. See, here we close it and we're bringing them back. Let's arrange it nicely here. We're going to continue making slip stitches until we get here. To the last bump on this side. This is how our slip stitches are looking. Look at how the handle is turning out. We're going to work on this side. Now the last two. Look, here's the second to last one, and this is the last stitch. And this little ridge that's on the back. Look, here we pass the needle under the next little ridge. We slide it through, and now under the last one. Here we slide it through. We are going to continue working on this side, slip stitch. We go under these two strands here. And here we slip under this one, and here we slip. Which we adjust. And like this. Look how it's already turning out. Look how pretty it is. We keep working slip stitch all along this edge, and we're going to continue on this side as well. So let's start. We raise it to the level of the little ear that's on the hook and go through the next space. And slip stitch. Remember to raise it to the edge level that's on the hook. so the slip stitch doesn't end up too tight. We'll make the last stitch on this side. And here, we're going to go through here. We pass the needle under the entire chain stitch, here on this side, here. A slip stitch under each chain stitch, until we get here to this last one. We pass the needle under everything. We take the yarn, we lift up and slide, under the next one. We're going to make the last stitch here. And we're also going to take the opportunity to hide this strand from the bottom part. You can do this at the beginning or at the end, whichever you prefer. I finished hiding the strand. At the end, you're going to put a drop of silicone on the tip or make a simple stitch with a needle and thread. To prevent the strand from coming loose, cut off the excess. And hide the tip. This is how we're going to hide the strands throughout this entire project. This is how our slip stitches are turning out. Look how pretty they are. So neat, all the same size, because we made them the same height as the little ear on the hook. See, they don't look too tight. Let's keep working. Now, on this side, we pass the needle under these two strands, and here we make a stitch under this little ridge. Under these two strands, under the little ridge, all along the edge, until we get here, which is the last stitch. We go through this side, under the entire chain, under each one, until we get here to this second to last stitch. We're going to make one last stitch. And now edge and 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 edge. And here in this space, look, you can see the last single crochet here.
있습니다. Okay.
Like this. We make a slip stitch. We finish the stitches. Look how they're turning out. Now, we're going to work a round of single crochet around the handle to give it a better finish. We have a loop on the hook. We yarn over with the opening facing up, insert the needle under the handle, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Here, we're not going to make the stitches too tight or too loose, just nicely even. Look, we have two loops on the hook here. Yarn over and pull through. We adjust it very well. We do the same process. Insert the hook under the loop, yarn over, and pull up to the height of the loop that's on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through both. Look how it's turning out. You need to have the yarn well organized, so the finish of the loop looks really nice. We go through again, yarn over and pull up to the height. always at the level of the little loop that's on the hook. Yarn over and close. Go through again. This way, we're going to work single crochets all along the edge until we get to the last stitch here. The number of stitches you make will depend on the size of the pot holder. You might make more, you might make fewer. It depends on the height you've given it. I finished the stitches. Look how they turned out here. I made a total of 34 and see how the threads are nicely organized. The stitch is neither too tight nor too loose. Look how it looks. I'm going to give you the measurements. The length is 33 centimeters. We already have this piece ready. We're going to leave it here for now because next we're going to join the two sides together. So, what are we going to do? We're going to make the other side, following the same process. Here, I already have the other side ready. Look how it turned out. It has the same measurements and the same number of stitches that you're going to make. When making side number 1, notice that I finished here with the same number of stitches. The last chain, just like on this side. Here, I finished on the last chain, making the same 34 that we did on the previous piece. So here you cut the yarn. See that I already cut it here, and you pull the loop out like this. And you're going to pull this leftover yarn through. Under the second chain, look here where the first and second are. You pass the needle from the side under the chain, grab the yarn, and take it to the back. You pass the needle through the center of the last chain. Here, also passing under the little bump that's on the back, you grab the reserved yarn and take it to the back. You need to tighten it a little bit. And this is how you will make the closure on the first piece, so you will work on this first piece. Cut the yarn and finish it off. Hide the excess at the bottom of the stitches, as I explained before. Arrange it very well so that the chain doesn't end up too tight here, and hide the yarn at the bottom. Piece number 1 is the one that will go on the back. So, to do the stitching that we're going to do, from this corner to this corner, this part will stay open. Only the bottom part will be joined. We need to have from this point, look, which is the one right here in the corner. You can place a marker here. To this point, which is the one on this side, look, it's the one right in the corner. You should have 67 stitches on both pieces. Why? So that the chains line up with each other. So you need to keep that in mind. This one has 67 stitches from this marker to this marker. We're going to take the piece and turn it over, leaving the chains, which is the right side, facing down. Here, this way, we take the second piece, which is the one we've made. At the end, notice that it has the strand we haven't cut, and here is where we're going to keep working. We place the hook here in the little loop, and we're going to work. Slip stitches, passing the needle through the center of the next chain. Only in the chain, taking the top loop, here we make slip stitches. In the center, in the next one we make slip stitches. We're going to work slip stitches in the center of each of the chains until we get here to this corner, which is where we should have the marker, placing each one, and we're going to keep working. Done. And here we're going to start joining this corner. With the one on this side, we're going to make the last slip stitch. We go through the center of the chain, yarn over and slip. Here we're going to start joining the two pieces. We place one in front of the other, making sure it's well organized. The stitches. And where is the marker? We're going to insert the needle, remove it. Since this is the first stitch, we go through the center of the chain, taking the top loop, and we're also going to take the loop that's in the back. This is to make this first stitch firmer. We remove the marker, and we also go through the front loop and in the center of the chain. Here, we should have 4 loops on the hook, not counting this first one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. Yarn over again and pull through all of them. Here we make a slip stitch because we're doing this so that this first seam doesn't end up loose. Now we're going to go through the center of the next chain, taking only the top loop. And here on this side, look, here is the complete chain. We go through the center, taking this one. Here on this side, we're only going to take this one, and we pick up a strand, go through both, lift up, and slide the height at the level of the little ear that's on the hook. We go through the next one, and the one that's in front, and like that, going down the seam, and that's how it looks on like this, on the back side. Look, this bag is flat, which means it doesn't have sides, and the seam is done on the outside. So when you open it, look how it stays closed like this, and that's how the seam looks. We continue working slip stitch all along the edge. Remember, it's one chain facing the other until we get here where the markers are, until we get here where they are.
Los marcadores.
We're going to make the last stitch, then we remove the markers. We insert the needle through the center of the chain and into the little ridge that's on the back. Here we do the same process. Here's the yarn and the yarn that's in the chain. We go through all of them, tighten, and here we slip. We're going to continue making slip stitches on this side to finish it off, just like we did here. Here, we go through the center of the next chain, yarn over, and slip through the center of the next one. See how it's supposed to look. We make this last stitch here. Look, here we leave a chain before starting the single crochets. We cut the yarn, pull it out. We're going to pass the needle underneath. Look, this is the last chain. We go under the next one. From the side, grab the yarn and pull it to the back. take the needle and pass it through the center of the last chain, also going under this strand. We take the reserved yarn and bring it back again through the center of the chain. Here we adjust a little bit. Look, here we've already simulated closing the last chain. We adjust it very well so that it's the same size as the others. And we're going to hide this strand under the stitches, just like I explained before. I finished hiding the strand. I'm going to show you how the seam turned out. On this side, we did slip stitches, and this is how the seam looks on the right side. Look how the stitches are well organized, all nice and neat. This is how the back looks. And on the inside, look how it looks. It's a roomy bag, quite spacious, with a different shape, but very modern. Look how pretty it is. This is the left side, and here is the right side, where you can see the double slip stitch. Let's give the bag a special touch. We will be adding some fringes under each chain stitch, starting here where we made the first seam all along the edge, until we get to the last one. That means we need to make 67 fringes. I'll explain how you're going to do it. For this process, we're going to start by cutting strands that are 35 centimeters long. If you want them longer, you can do that. We're going to cut all 67 strands. Here, I already have a part done. I'm going to show you how to attach them, and then, calmly, we'll continue the process to add the strands. You're going to take a smaller needle, size 3.5, fold the strand in half, stretch it out nicely, and you'll have a little loop here. Pass the needle through it. Look, here we have the chain stitch on top, and down here, see that we have another chain stitch, the one that's right underneath and below. This one. And you're going to pass the needle through, and look. From bottom to top, grab the little loop and bring it down. Here you'll have a little loop. Look, right here where it is, take the strands and pass them through that loop, like this. Here, pull tightly and make sure both strands are the same length, both tips. If you see one is longer, adjust it again. The idea is for them all to be the same size. Look how it turns out. We take another strand, stretch it, and fold it in half. And here, right in the center, a little loop forms. We pass the needle under the strand. Here it is in the chain. Let's look at it here. See that the chain is underneath? Look here where the strand is. We pass the needle underneath. We take the little loop, pull it back. Here a little ear forms. We pass the needle through and grab the strands. And bring it here. Like this, we arrange it very well, just like that. Let's check that the ends are the same size. If not, we adjust them again like this, so they look good.
Okay.
We adjust it and look how it turns out. We take the next strand, repeat the same process, join the ends, stretch it, and here we have the little loop. We go under the next chain, right here where the little strand is. We take the little loop and move it to the back. Look, right here where it is, we grab the strands and pull them through. Let's tighten it well and make sure the ends are the same size. finished attaching the fringes. Look how they turned out. They add a lot of movement to the bag. Look how beautiful these are. You don't have to even them out. They should look like this. Remember, they are all the same size. Now, let's attach the clasp. This process is very simple. You just need to sew in each space with a needle and nylon thread. You're going to put the thicker clasp here on the back and the thinner one over here on this side. You're going to do a simple stitch in each space, as many times as needed, until the clasp is nice and secure. I'll do this process now, and then we'll continue. I finished attaching the clasp. It's very secure. It's a very simple process. We just do stitches in each space until the clasp is nice and tight. The important thing is that when you do it, the stitches aren't visible on this side, so we do it very carefully. Look, it's nice and tight, and I also took the opportunity to add the personalized tag with the channel's name. Remember that this is optional, and if you want to have yours made, you can do it at your online store. Your supplies. In the video description, I'll leave you the link to their shopping page. We've reached the end of the whole process, and this would be the result. Look how beautiful it is. It's a modern bag, very handmade, easy to make, and with a unique design that's also trendy. Look at all the details of the bag. Look at the back, the fringes that give it a spectacular touch, and the handles. Look how beautiful that stitch looks. And inside, look how spacious it turned out. You can add a lining to your liking. Honestly, I loved it. The design is very beautiful. Now, I'm going to give you the width measurements. It ended up being 41 centimeters tall in the center, 23 centimeters here on the sides, and 21 centimeters. We've reached the end of the class. I hope you've enjoyed the whole process and that you put it into practice. If that's the case, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. The truth is that this motivates me to keep sharing these beautiful classes with you. See you in the next tutorial. God bless you. Bye.